You guys know which mod I'm doing? Or not mod, but, well, I guess so. I'm doing a patch, not the open MW for this game. So if you want to so this is going to be important for this right here. Now, we picked Atronach, so it's basically going to mean nothing. But if you were to pick, let's say, if you were to play, one thing I really, really want to have you know is if you were to play Open and W, there's going to be a big difference with your birth sign in whichever one you do the game in the game. Ironically, not going to affect us much, which makes that ideal because we don't have to worry about anything being really that big of a difference. But now the first one did not actually have any mod. It was totally unmodded. But this right here, you see how we're getting, we call it wound burn, and we're getting all, which is basically that huge negative to like magic damage, getting huge or huge negative to, we're taking a huge amount of magic damage, and fire damage, and pretty much every element. If you were to take the sign the lady, which gives you boosted attributes, in Open MW and in the code patch, they operate differently. Code patch operates more like if you were to totally leave the game as is. That operates a lot more similar to how the traditional game worked. Not necessarily whether it was intended or not. It's hard to say because the game's the game's a little bit old at this point, so it's hard to say what was intended. So endurance and personality would be plus 25. It's basically you just have 25 more endurance and personality if you were to do like the lady. Whereas if you were doing open MW, right, it would be fortify the two. Even though it says fortify in the menu, consider it that you're basically getting in the default game and in the code patch, you're basically just getting 25 more points. Whereas in the open MW, you are actually getting it fortified 25 extra points. So if you see anything different between the like stat wise or anything like that, know that that is the only thing I have running. So if you're playing along, which I would love to hear that you guys are playing along, then that is probably what is going on. So now I also did a little bit of testing just to see exactly how much I messed up by doing this kind of build, and it's not actually that bad of a build. Now, if you were to try to be optimal, you would want all these to be like as low as possible, right? As low as possible, unboosted, and you'd want this to all be like the lowest possible, because then you get the most possible level ups, which means you would get the most possible health. But this, if it's talking about optimization, we're not really optimizing. So, with this gameplay, but I will say that can be a nightmare. I've been playing a gameplay that way with multiplayer, because we can do a multiplayer playthrough, which would be really fun. But I've been doing that in a multiplayer playthrough, and I'll show you an example of what you spend most of your time doing. So you see how we're running right now?
Yes.
Now we're dramatically slow as high elves.
You want something, friend?
High elves males, I think, have the slowest speed in the game. One of the slowest speeds in the game. There might be other people who share it, but they have one of the slowest starting speeds with 30. So that's what you spend a lot of your time doing. This you may not like it, but this is what peak performance looks like right here. That's what you end up spending half your time doing to level up athletics. So as you see, that is probably not going to be what we're going to do, because it's just not going to be fun to watch in a stream format. At least I don't think.
Quickly, Outlander, or go away.
But, what? They just dissed me. They just dissed me as I was walking by. Okay, so we got a halberd. A lot of people don't like it. Oh yeah, I forgot. And let's say we just tried to talk to a bunch of people and they hated us. Gotcha. Check. Now we are gonna do some things to try to make sure we don't absolutely fail at the game. We're gonna just pick one of these major skills to focus on, and we're going to try to level up everything else. So as you can see, we have medium armor right now. This is leveling up endurance, and medium armor is leveling up endurance. So if we go 5 and 5, that's going to give us a 5 modifier when we level up. So we're fine with the armor and spear as it is. We just can't do any more fighting once they go through, right? And we are going to level up spear quickly. But we do have, if we look, Conjuration as a misc skill, right? We also have Athletics, I think, right? Athletics is a misc skill, or is it a? Oh, it's a. It's a minor skill. So we need to get. We could either do. We could do Athletics. That's fine, but that's gonna affect our level up. So we need to walk. Excuse me. Or just not care. Because this guy's going to need all the help we can get, but we don't want to min-max to a point of absolute painfulness. Ooh, let's see. Unarmored is going to be tricky because I think the code patch fixes it, but I don't know entirely sure, but if you do not have a shield equipped, you will notice unarmed going up because they are hitting where your shield's supposed to be. And so it's going to make your unarmed go up. I don't believe that's fixed in the open, because I was having that happen in the open MW, at least in the multiplayer. So I don't know how it works in this. I think it's the code patch doesn't have that problem. But if you are trying to min-max to the extreme and then unarmored keeps leveling up, put your back to them when you're leveling up your armor. That's advice I've seen online. So we want to see short blade speed. We're going to try to find a dagger. So once we reach 5 spear, we're going to switch to using a dagger. We don't really need to worry about it right now. I want to check if we have. Okay, there should be. Our walking speed is virtually the same as our running speed. Like, it's that bad. It's that bad. We're going to have to level up speed and quick. Now, acrobatics, another tricky thing is that acrobatics is one of our leveling skills, which is great. But because since we have spear and medium armor, that's not so great. Because we don't want to lose level up. So we don't really have any endurance skill other than heavy armor in this skills. So we're gonna have to level up we call it either heavy armor, or we're gonna have to pick a strength stat from in here. We could always just change weapons because as you can see, long blade being a thing there. So this character, the more and more I look over it, now that I research into it, is totally not min-maxed. Because even the armorer we took, which is a really bad idea when you think about it, considering that we don't have really many we took all the on-demand level up skills. So if you're trying to min-max, do not emulate this. And now I do want to show you something I did come across in testing. 2 things I came across in testing. I used an Imperial to run down. Is that a dead one or is that one alive? I think that one's dead. 2 things I ran across in testing, right? I used an Imperial. Well, I used an Imperial because they have generally no no weaknesses by default, no damage weaknesses or damage resistances really. And just to say, we didn't dispose a lot of these bodies. We just didn't know about disposed corpse. There we go. Oh, there's this guy over here. I'm gonna grab that. But just getting hit by one magical spell killed the Imperial outright. So we are going to have to not get hit ever. Ever. Unless we do have Atronach Stone, so once we get some enchanted gear, we can get better than a 50%, because I believe the way that our Atronach works is that it's a chance. I'm gonna just dispose of all these corpses. I think that's a corpse, right? Yeah. Well, these are corpses. We just went through and killed a bunch of stuff. And just left bodies around like an absolute animal. Are we running right now or are we walking? I'm just gonna walk. Okay? So, because I don't run any faster. And it just means if I get attacked, I'm just gonna get hurt really badly. Now, the trick is gonna be not leveling up unarmed, but leveling up everything else. Unarmored, I should say, not unarmed. There is a person that we could level up our unarmed against. It's horrifically slow. We are horrifically slow. Welcome to Slow Stream. This is how we walk. This is the way we walk. This is the new fast. This is peak speed. Because this is the alternative. We are just running in place equally as fast. And leveling up something we shouldn't be leveling, so it's we're gonna leave the body. We don't want to touch that until the guards see that we didn't kill that guy. We want it to be clear that when we were dragging that body away, that it was not us that did it, and that was from a great fall. I'm gonna quick save real quick. Whoop. This is gonna be a nightmare. I should not have picked the slowest people. I should not have picked. I mean, a lot of mistakes were made. That's all I can say. We are gonna level up speed, but it's just. This is just not how. We could level up heavy armor to compensate, but I don't want to do a lot of save and reloading. Saving and reloading, so we're gonna see what we do. We can alternate. I'm running a little. It's not that bad. Running is a little faster. The only thing is that's gonna level up our endurance, and endurance has so few skills to level up, and that is one thing I can't afford to lose on a level up. It'd be better to lose a level of speed than to lose a level of endurance at this point, just because we are so vulnerable. We are so vulnerable at this state. Because any spell is going to hit us for pretty much almost double. I think it's 50% additional magicka, and then like even more for different elements. So, gonna alternate. If we level up speed, I'm just gonna keep going until I have a 5 endurance boost. I don't care if I waste levels of speed, because there's so many things that boost speed. I don't care. It's gonna lower our max level a little bit, but once you miss a level once, the good thing is you technically it's harder to miss the next level because you're only by 1. If that makes any sense, you're only missed the level by 1.
Stay out of trouble and you won't get hurt.
People don't like me here. They're like saying like real ominous things.
You have something
Also,
to say to
one
me?
thing I would do want to show that I did notice, if we go back to the census and excise, because I do know we have to turn this into this way. Or we don't have to. We could run away with the money. But one reason why I like...
This over
What?
with quickly.
Hold on. Ah! It changed! Okay, so it didn't update the save at all. So never mind, we don't have the Morrowind code patch working right now. Or that, or it's just not telling me anymore. Because it normally was telling me that it's owned. That was one of the reasons why I liked it. Because like, if I walked over to this, without the code patch, right, even with OpenMW, if you were to go, I wonder, this doesn't say anyone owns it, right? And if you clicked it, they would get very, very angry at you. Very,
What's
very
this,
angry.
then?
Let's see. Yep, I found money on his body. We owe him some money. So I'm going to let them have that money back. There's a way of keeping the money by just solving the crime. But considering, we call it, this is for the benefit of the viewer and for just the benefit of others, this is probably the best way of doing it. And also, we owe them money at this point. We did really actually steal like all their silverware. Because when I played with the code patch, suffice it to say, I stole like all the I would call it, I didn't know, but I went through, and then later when the code patch it said owned, and all that stuff. So I actually did steal all their silverware. In this game, unless you have something that has it turned on to where you can see if someone owns something, it won't tell you. So it seems like that doesn't work in this thing. So you did how odd. He was murdered but not robbed. Your honesty is appreciated. I can tell you, I won't forget this a scare. In fact, if you're looking for some money, money for yourself, I'd like to see the murderer of processes, I think, punished. Killing an emperor's tax collector is punishable by death. Find his murderer and bring him to justice, and the census and excise office will pay for your 500 septums. Okay, pay you 500 septums. So we're going to get more money. So we're going to end up with a $300 profit, which is good. So we just know that we're not going to, we're going to level up. Okay, and so we're going to level up inefficiently. And just letting you know, before we move on with this gameplay, my warning was mostly that we're going to level up inefficiently. Do not follow this as a leveling up tip. It's going to be inefficient. But, peak performance, if we look at peak performance again, which this is peak performance, you'd know that it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it for stream format. It can be really fun. Like, you can just do this and walk away. It's like, I'm going to be back in like an hour, basically. Like, I cooked a pizza. We were doing multiplayer. Both of us were just doing this, right? This is what we're doing. I cooked a pizza. I had a pizza. I enjoyed the pizza. Came back, got enough athletics for me to level up. And then that was it. And then I jumped. I then proceeded to do athletics. Oop. Let's mention the murder. Oh, someone finally got him? Well, that's no surprise. I suppose no one liked the tax collector. Especially one who flaunts his wealth while taking our hard-earned cash. Only one who could stomach him was the Vare over there in the lighthouse. The two of them spent some time together. Shame, really. She seemed like a nice woman. Okay. Wait. She seemed like a nice woman. She's not dead. What does that mean? Oh, you're just upset that she's going to be upset? Is that it? I don't know. Can't tell if that's a sign of empathy or basically you're writing her off because she was friends with somebody. I can't tell. A lot of vague threats and passive aggressiveness in this town. Satanine. Yeah, that's Satanine, folks. Hold on. There's the Vare. So you're new to Satanine, right? I'm the Vare Vedrano. I'm sure you have questions. Go ahead, ask. I have plenty of time. So we're just going to get straight to it. Process is murdered. No, tell me. It's not so. He was the gentlest man I've ever met. Just saying, if someone said that, I'd immediately be thinking they killed him. Just saying. If he's the gentlest person I ever knew. Unless you're talking about, for some reason, it's suspicious if you're saying that and then someone died. But that's the exact same thing everyone always says if it turns out like their best friend was a killer. It's like, oh man, he was the quietest, gentlest. It's like, it's weird. Normally, that for some reason, that is the go-to description of someone who's killed somebody. But as super suspicious if you're talking about who got killed. It's like you're the first suspect. It's the one who's like, man, he was really nice. Is that looking at him? It's like, and you kill him, right? Yeah. That's generally how it works. He and I had become so close the past few months. I don't know what I'll do without him. I've only seen him get angry once or twice. That's also suspicious. That's also suspicious. I've only seen him get angry once or twice, and he's never raised a hand to anyone. This is so sad. Well, not even angry, I suppose. I saw him arguing with foreign guildness about his taxes. He thought processes had been levying too much and skipping off the top for himself. Ridiculous. Processes wouldn't have done such a thing. I'm sure of it. Please find out what happened, friend. And if you find out what's become of Processes' ring, it would ease my heart. I gave him this ring many months ago, and it was very dear to him. I would like it to remember him by. We kind of.
Time is precious, so make it quick.
Okay, so you're very nice to me a moment ago. Now you're not so nice. But maybe, they're distraught, I guess. We'll just write it off as they're distraught. Hold on. Proceed to see the glory of what's our athletics? Or not athletics. 30 acrobatics. Proceed to see the glory. That's 30 athletics for you guys. Hold on, just a sec. This is 30 athletics. We jumped like 6 inches, I guess, maybe. Hold on. I will do this real quick. I believe it's quick save. Oh, no, what's quick load? Controls. Quick save. F9 is quick load. Okay, so I will show you the glory of 1,000 athletics. Keep thinking I is gonna give me the inventory, but I keep forgetting. Oh, we read it. Oh, it actually has words on it. That's kind of cool. In order to use that, I guess I have to select in my powers. Okay, so proceed to see the glory. Okay, so I don't think I'll be able to swim back. Hold on. I don't know if I should just try to jump straight up and see what happens. Because this is just a goof. I'm just showing you this as a goof. We're going to load back. But I'm going to do it a little bit in water. I'm going to do it from the water. And I'm going to just move slightly forward. If I don't, if I use it, then that's fine. Okay, so watch. Okay, watch this. We have entered the atmosphere. I don't want to go too far away. I should not have done this at night. It's just darkness. Oh, here it comes. So as you can see, let's load the quick save. That's okay. Let me wait for day. I'm going to show you in day. I'll show you in day with the what it does. So let's show you in day, because otherwise it's just not going to work. Okay, so let's wait. I can only rest on solid ground. Come on. Let's wait until like that should be bright enough. We're gonna just go off into we're just gonna go over. How about that? We go over the land because you'll see some stuff. You'll have reference points. Water's not gonna give you a lot of reference points, but I want to show just to anyone who hasn't seen it just how far you can go. Whoop! And there we go. So you saw what I mean. So that was for the benefit of seeing. Oh, autosave is closer. I just want to go over in the quick save because I just was showing off. Let's go with quick save. So that's basically what it does. I just wanted to show you guys so you can get a good look at it. So once you get better athletics, you can go really fast. Actually, hold on. Let me quick save again and show you what you can do on the quick save again. Oh no, I'm pressing the wrong button. I'm pressing F6. There we go. F5. I'm gonna show you if I just drop everything. I'm gonna just drop everything and just show you without any gear how fast I can get. I wish there was like a thing to just drop everything. We are going to fly. We're just dropping everything. Wish I could scroll and grab everything, but I guess because they don't really think you're going to just drop everything in your inventory. Probably not the best idea. We are going to drop everything we have and just see how far we can fly without it. You should be able to fly significantly farther. Well, the money doesn't weigh us down, so we're just going to show you just how far you can fly. Also, one negative is that if someone's mentioning something in chat is I can't see it. With OpenMW, I could see it. So I'm thinking of possibly doing a multiplayer game, right? Of translating this to OpenMW so I can see chat a little bit better. Because OpenMW, I could alt tab safely. Right now, I'm doing a blind leader. I'm leading the pack blind a little bit until I find out. Whoop. There you go. So hold on, guys. You will see. Glory of flight. Okay, hold on. Okay, again, 30 acrobatics, everyone. Frame of reference. That's it. Okay, so now proceed to see 1,000 acrobatics with no clothes on. Unloading area. Am I dead? I entered a new world. I don't see anything. I should have done this in the day. Oh, this is scary. I landed so deep in the water. Hello, everyone. That looks intimidating, that purple mass. Okay, no, it's not. It's just clouds. So, yeah. That's, it was at night, so again, no real good views. So, I wonder if I can actually use it. I wanted to see if I can use it. Again, this is just to show you, to illustrate what you can do in this kind of game. Can I jump out of the water? No, I cannot jump from water. That's a shame. Hold on, if I have water walking, I don't think I think I'd have to get on land first, right? Okay, we're just gonna go back. I don't like loading and doing things like that. I think I even mentioned in my last stream that if you could just quick save and do something else, it gets rid of the point of exploration. But at this point, since I'm showing it to you, I figured that's all that matters. I would never, like, if somebody says it was going to give me acrobatics 1000, I think we all know we wouldn't, throw that on, right? I hope. Okay, so halberd's actually just an amazing weapon. I'm just gonna say this right now. Spears in general are really great in this game. I think that's why for ESO, a lot of the Dark Elves are represented holding spears. And I think it's because it's unique to Morrowind having spears. Now you can use it to travel if you're doing from water to water. Like body of water to body of water, but you do not use it to travel unless you're shooting yourself into the water of another area. Like you're going along the coast. If you're going along the coast, it's fine because, like, let's say I wanted to travel like this. Again, it's night. It's probably really dark for you guys. There are enemies nearby. Who the heck is intimidating me? I can't tell. Wait. Oh, there we go. Enemies nearby. Yeah. Let's wait till the morning, because then you guys can see. Is that a lot better? That's probably a lot better. So you can see our peak performance of walking again. Just once more. Once more to illustrate. Oh. If you couldn't see before. That's our jump. And this is peak performance. So that's if you want to not level up and you want to, we call it min-max, we call it, don't take athletics as a level up skill, or you will be walking all the time. All the time. Since it's a level up for skill for us, we're walking all the time. If it's not a level up skill, then feel free to run. I would recommend not taking it. Technically, it is a skill you can force by just pressing Q and just running into a corner. But it just, unless you're going to make it a major skill so you level up at it really fast, it's just never worth it. I actually highly recommend, it really just depends on what you start off as. Also, if you wanted to min-max, you generally min-max from, like, maybe High Elf as a wizard or Breton as a wizard. And we call it, or as a mage. But then for warrior, you would do, like, Redguard or Orc. Because those would be the min-max ones. Really, Everyone says red
My
guard
time is precious, so make it
because you technically end up statistically the highest. But orcs just as good, just depending on whether you like adrenaline.
You have something
It's
to
just as
say
good.
to
It's like
me?
you get like it just starts with like
Stay out
5
of
less an
trouble and you
attribute
won't
out
get
of
hurt.
100. But you start with a little higher willpower because I think orcs start like at 50 willpower, right? I could be wrong, but I think orcs start at like 50 willpower, so that means you'd have a little bit more fatigue. Also, orcs have a berserk, but that just depends if you like berserk or adrenaline rush better. Adrenaline rush is really good, but a lot of times that adrenaline rush, from what I've heard, just gets people killed because they forget that the health doesn't work the same way. Fortify health doesn't work the same way as it does in most games. So they'll think they still have health, and then the fortify health will end, and then you'll die. And Berserk might have the same thing. I don't really remember, but I don't know. Because the only thing I've played so far is an Imperial to test magic damage and a Dark Elf for the multiplayer. So I will show you something you can do, however. Oh, we need to find the murderer. We totally have gone off not trying to find the murderer. Now, I already know who the murderer is because they told me the name, and that means all I have to go is to the guy's house.
What assistance do you need?
So we look at our journal. We're in Gilneth. That's all we need to do.
Let's get this over with.
But before we go,
Speak freely,
I'm
friend.
expecting a
Alright.
fight, so I'm going to get the rest of the medium armor I can get, or at least heavy armor. To fill the gaps, to fill the void.
Oh,
Bone wool
greetings.
is what we're going
How
to
do
want to
you do?
get.
May we talk?
Once we get to somewhere else. Unfortunately, not really an option right now. We're probably going to have to use heavy armor for the moment. Yeah, probably going to just have to use heavy armor at the moment. Does he have pauldrons at all, though? I don't think he has any pauldrons. He doesn't have any pauldrons, so we're just getting pants. We're going to get unarmored from our hands and legs getting hit. Iron gauntlet. He has a left gauntlet and a right gauntlet, but we don't have pauldrons. But that should at least tone down the amount we're getting in unarmored. Wait, there we go. There we go. So we look like a little bit of a mixed match of armor, but we'll get there. We could go to the Fighters Guild in Balmora for some see if they have anything there, but there's also an armorer that sells bone mold in Balmora too. So let's find the name. Foreign Gilneth. This is him. We're gonna get a house, guys, and you know how we're gonna get it. Okay, so we're going murder processes. You're right. I did it to him, and in a good thing too. He was skimming a load of money off of all us honest people, overcharging us on our taxes and keeping the difference for himself. He was always flaunting his money around and showing off his new clothes and jewels. So I killed him and left his body out there to rot, with all his ill-begotten gold still on him. Sorry, no excuse for murder, and I like your house. So hold on, you're one of them, huh? Come to kill me. Well, give it your best shot, High Elf. I've got no problem spilling more blood of the Emperor's lackeys. Yeah, okay.
Die, Fetcher.
Oh, we went in here with no. Oh, we went in here with no endurance, and he's gonna knock us out constantly. Hold on, do we have an endurance? We do have. We have bread. The power of bread. Oh, we're gonna get punched right in the face. Let's use all the bread. Oh, no effect. Oh, I forgot. We could use... Oh. I don't have a potion, so I don't think the things will stack. Okay, hold on. We just need enough to get out the door. And we can wait for a minute, and then we can get our thing back. We were going to get some armor skill this way, unfortunately. There we go. He can wait for an hour. There we go. We were just outside his door. We're caught holding his door shut. There we go. There we go. Take all his stuff. Okay, do we want to leave the body? I'm resting until healed. We're going to leave the body. It's a nice decoration, I guess. I believe now this is all not owned because he's dead. So let's take that. In traditional fantasy rules, oh, what did we just level up? Mercantile. Ah, no! We're caught. I'm not even gonna read this. That's long. Close that. We're gonna take it though. I don't want to sell it. I'll leave it there. Maybe one day we'll read it. I hate selling lore. I feel bad whenever I do. I feel dirty selling lore. Which would be really hilarious. It would be really hilarious if I was a librarian and saying that. If I was a librarian, I'm not. But if I was a librarian, that would be funny to say that. Where are we going? Ah, that's nothing there. Hollow tree stump. Alright, let's continue on. Take that. So I've purposely avoided a lot of the quests beyond kind of the starting area. But in multiplayer, if you do play the multiplayer Morrowind, I'll warn you right ahead, a lot of these quests don't work. So part of it got spoiled because just having to find out what the heck wasn't working for the beginning of multiplayer. You miss all like the Satanine quests. So if you start off in Satanine, just go get that taxpayer money, taxpayer money, I guess, and sell it. I don't know if that rain's too loud. Hopefully it's not burning out people's ears. Tankard, spoon, plate, knife. Okay. So you like us at least. And this might sound silly in this game, but if you're going to sell something, the way this game works, we're going to sell gold. The way this game works, disposition-wise, I'll show you what I mean. I wonder if there's someone I haven't talked to that I can show you what I mean. It's raining. I'm going to turn down the effect sound, just in case. I like the sound of rain, but I don't know how it's going to affect you guys hearing me. Especially since I basically have to kind of fly blind.
My time is precious, so make it quick.
Okay, so I'm trying to find someone who's in the 50s. Because I think 50 is neutral. I helped him.
Well,
So
what
that's
is
not
this
a neutral. We'll do it in Balmora. Because I think I went around and insulted all these people by accident. And yes, I mean by accident because I tried to do admire and they hated it.
Come
However,
on,
I will
I
say-
haven't got all day, you know.
Okay, so he wants us to say something to them that he sent us. I don't know if that actually gives you a special price. If you want to level up real quick, acrobatics is an amazing one. I highly recommend you take acrobatics as a minor or major skill if you are trying to optimize, because you will level up so quick with it. It's amazing. You can do it on demand. Can I just like hijack that? I'd love it if I could. If I had levitate, I'd go up into that driver's seat. GTS, Grand Theft Silt Strider. Oh, GTSS, Grand Theft Silt Strider. Let's see. Go to Balmora.
We make a special trip just for you. Same low price.
Okay. I mean, I just arrived. I don't know if I want to leave immediately. But let's go down. Okay, so I want to show you some tips. You're going to get a lot of money from in here. But if you don't have the ability to see what's owned, be careful because most of these boxes are not going to be owned. But something like this is owned. It doesn't tell you. You're like, it's nobody's ball. But it is somebody's ball. And they're watching you. And they're watching you right now. If I could zoom in, I'd zoom in on that guy. It's not his. But he's watching us and he's telling us. It's funny because this guy, we just absolutely...
Fresh game.
Okay, I'm backing up for a minute. Okay. Actually, hold on. That's actually a great person I can show to say something about neutral behavior. So, if you see here, they have 45 toward us, right? That's based on our personality and stuff like that, reputation, right? We need to go and see if I can find I don't know if there's a high elf around anywhere. There's not many high elves. If we go to the Mages Guild, there we go. Go to the Mages Guild to see. This was running! This is our running! This is how slow we are! He walks 10 times faster than us. Okay, let's go to the Mages Guild. Because I know there's a high elf in here. Excuse me? Now look at this.
I really don't have time for this, so make
Oh no,
it
that's not a high elf, that's a Bosmer. There might not be a high elf in here. Oh no, downstairs. Let's check. With our extremely slow speed. We run so slow. There's also something called the Boots of Blinding Speed in this game, which I've heard. It's hard not to even know about it.
How interesting.
And know anything
A
about.
tourist.
You see 50? So now if you want to min-max your money gain, and it's going to sound terrible, you find. We got, if you're a dark elf, find the dark elf that you can sell stuff to. Because that will give you a better price. Morrowind is not exactly a, Morrowind is a somewhat, let's just say that they're not exactly, Morrowind is not, I would say, a fair place. So if I were to go to these three guys, so there's 3 different people I could sell stuff to. Or actually a bunch of people. So that's Bosmer, right? Okay. Anyone that is your same species in the Elder Scrolls Morrowind will give you, will like you more. So without talking to them at all, right? You say that's 45. They will give you a better price. So if you are immediately arriving, if you're an Imperial, your best bet is to go sell your stuff there. If you're Dark Elf, your best chance is going to sell stuff there, right? At the Dressala, right? And if you're and if your best bet, selling stuff, if you're a Khajiit, is right over there. Morrowind, you'll quickly learn in Morrowind things are definitely not fair. You just have to meet the Telvanni and you immediately know that there's some shady attitudes in Morrowind. In fact, actually, people I thought were enemies initially, and maybe in a particular dungeon, actually turned out to be kind of actually people who were enslaved. And I may have mistaken them for foes and may have unduly attacked them. So be careful. If you come across people with glowing bracers, they're enslaved. They're enslaved, and if you you may accidentally kill someone who's an innocent victim. Just a warning. Just a warning. That can definitely happen. You can end up coming across someone who is a totally innocent person in a dungeon and stabbing them in the face before they have a chance to tell you that they're a prisoner. So, they are behind a locked door, but the way the way that they're kind of looking at you through the door, you're thinking that they might be other enemies. Until you've killed one, and then the other two are looking at you like you're a madman. So let's go ahead and sell stuff. Now, if you get persuasion, right? If you barter with them, generally it's not going to be like a huge price difference, but But generally, you want to find one and just make them like you a lot. I know that's an enchanted sword. But we're now about that sword life, so we're not going to worry about that. Let's sell all this stuff. We will go over to the Bosmer, though. But he only buys armor and weapons. We could sell that weapon to him, but from barter, none of the changed relationship stays unless you have a mod that makes it stay. We're gonna sell all this alchemical ingredients because why not? Alchemy is technically a really powerful thing in this game, but we're trying to play a warrior, so. Wait, did we get all that bread back? Magic bread. Or found it in box, and it's box bread. Oh, we forgot to give Processus his ring back. Oh no, not Processus. We forgot to give the person the ring. Uh-oh. I mean, it's expensive, but I really don't want to sell it. We already stole so much from the town without realizing it. We'll return it. We'll just have to remember. We could give it an enchantment of blindness. And return it. Wouldn't that be funny to enchant it and kind of give it back to them? I mean, that sounds kind of evil when I think about it, but when I really think about it. But at the same time, that would be funny to give them an enchantment. What if I wonder if they put it on? I'm kind of curious. If they would even put it on, or if they're just saying that they're keeping it in his memory. You know, the only way to really tell is if we enchant it with like destroy health or like just damage health on self on putting it on, and just to see what happens. Just to see if they actually did, if they were actually going to put it on. I don't know. We won't do that. Let's see. I'm not going to sell the Icarian Flight, just so that if I want to show something from a vertical view, I can quick save and kind of give you a good kind of view. Use it as my camera. Okay, so we can barter, but I'm not going to barter. You know what? I'm going to be that person and go pay me $1 extra. That's right. They paid me $1 extra, 1 gold extra. I was that guy. I was that guy who demanded to get paid 1 extra. I'm not going to go for the small, well, I'm going to go for the small stuff. Whatever. I'm going to pick up every single little thing I see. Let's take that. Let's take that. Ooh, let's take that. There's all kinds of stuff here. You can get all this free money. There's so much free money just laying around. So you really don't need to steal. And I'm not a huge fan of stealing in games. That's why I kind of feel bad that the first act we did in Morrowind is absolutely burglarized the census. I always feel bad because it shortcuts so much. And like in real life, you just wouldn't be that, like, you'd probably not be that big of just an absolute, like just stealing everything you see. Quite. Unless you had some kind of condition like kleptomania, in which, you know, you can't help it then. If you want to roleplay kleptomania, you know, someone with kleptomania, I guess you could, but at that point, I don't know if you'd even hide, like, the fact that you're stealing stuff. I don't know. I don't know that much about kleptomania. I don't know if it's like one of those things where it's not even like a, like as if it's like a, what is it called? Of where it's actually different issues, but then that's like the name people gave it, even though that's not even technically a thing. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know what it is. I'm sure it's probably a thing. I am not a specialist. I am not a specialist. I'll disclaim it right there. There's there's something that I'm trying to think of what it is. It's like saying you're afraid of tall buildings, but in reality you're afraid of heights. It's like that, like a simplification. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if kleptomania is like a simplification of something else. Okay, let's sell that. Sell all these plates. We're just selling them dinnerware. You know, you gotta wonder where we got all this stuff. Especially since they like threw it outside their house. Like a lot of the stuff was outside their door. It's like they could have just walked 5 feet. Now, don't get me wrong. Technically, a lot of people wonder, who'd buy all this junk? That actually does happen in real life. A lot of people don't give enough credit. That actually does happen in real life. People do actually buy scrap. It happens. It happens. Now, not your grocery store necessarily, but it actually does happen. If I wanted to be really super realistic, though, I'd make it be either a dump or like I'd have cities have dumps, and you could take your stuff and sell it there. And like you'd have to like have a random value kind of thing where you'd have to haggle kind of with the dump on whether they were wanting to buy it, because you might be able to find people. That's why people because I helped out a guy. Because we were giving away, I think I have something about broken appliances. Me and broken appliances. Washer machine.
I will
Right?
listen out, man.
Broken washer machine. And the guy was telling me about basically what he could get out of the washer machine, and I basically helped him load it and take it home. Just because I'm the kind of person, and this is again probably not something advisable, that just goes places. Like the fact that I'm not dead at this far in life is probably very surprising to many people, because I'm the kind of person that's like, hey, do you want to get into this vehicle? And you don't know who I am? You know what I mean? I'm that kid that I'm surprised I'm alive. I've been lucky enough that every time I've gotten to someone's vehicle, there was a free halibut here. We paid money for that. Take that. Let's take the money. I don't know if I wanted to take the rest of that. Just jump because that's actually faster than our sprinting. It actually is, no joke. Okay, so let's look from a side distance. Let's do some objective testing here. Some objective testing. Let's just see how long it takes us from running from like here. Okay. Now let's look at a jump. Oh, that's pretty much like the same. And then let's look at the sprint. It's hard to say which one's faster, but it's basically the same, just jumping. Now, one thing that you should know is in this game, as you can see, we're running. Look at our fatigue bar. You don't stop. You just keep going. Unlike in other games, you don't stop when your fatigue bar is gone. So, if you're constantly stopping because you're like, oh no, I'm gonna run out of fatigue, realize that actually doesn't make you stop. You can keep running. You totally just keep running as long as you wanted. But we're gonna buy some armor for one. But I'm gonna start off with the armor that we don't really have, such as pauldrons. Now, funny enough, I've seen this guy totally dressed up in Dark Brotherhood gear.
Time is short,
Because I
so
sold him Dark
get on
Brotherhood
with it.
gear. Because that is one thing, that is a surprise that I didn't realize when I was doing the testing, or call it for like the magic damage, is I got absolutely ambushed by Dark Brotherhood. But they're not that hard to beat, I will say, surprisingly. They're just really a good source of money. Let's not even worry about. I keep pressing that. There you go. Barter. Steel poison sword. That sounds really powerful, but I don't really want sword. I don't want sword experience. So I'll just do acrobatics for when I want to level up. Only thing is, I think I took acrobatics as didn't I? As a thing, didn't I? Oh, he doesn't buy trash. I forgot. Acrobatics. Yeah, I did. I took acrobatics as a level up. So I probably would have needed long blade for something to level up strength with without wasting levels. This guy is not going to be optimal. I'll just tell you right now. He's just not gonna. He's just not going to be the optimal person right here. It's going to be kind of weak. Just saying. So barter. I mean, from what I've heard, it doesn't really... I forgot. Let's go ahead and get boots and shoulder pads. I'm going to just get the what did we just buy? Bracer? I do not want a bracer right now because I want to get both shoulder pads. Left pauldron, we need right pauldron. Just need one. That's how much of our money? We still have more money. Now let's decide what's next. Oh, boots. Yeah, boots. Let's throw that on first. Okay. Again, we could have haggled, but I'm not too worried right now. Okay, so we're going medium armor. We got bone mold. Bone mold is probably... Bone mold jumps a little past... Oh, I'm overing. Let's sell them our old clothes. We're captive audience. And let's see... I'm just selling the damaged one, and I'm gonna just put that on myself. Oh, I can't put it on here, but you get my gist. You get the gist of what I was wanting to do. We don't really need to carry the short bow around for because we're not, even though marksman's a level up skill for us, we're not gonna be using it anytime soon. I just bought something, I think. Oh no, we took something off sale. We want to keep that one. Alright, so let's offer. It's not going to give us a lot of money for it. Let's throw that on. So we could use the gloves, because the gloves we have are heavy armor right now. So if we see iron, so as you can see, iron is dirt cheap compared to bone mold right now, because this is a higher grade. So steel would be something like a higher grade, but even the steel, or that's an iron helmet, sorry. But even steel, I think, is not the highest, not as high up as bone mold is in the tree, in the medium armor tree. So let's replace our gauntlets with bone mold bracers if we can. Right bracer, and we need a left bracer. It's gonna be kind of neat to see. It's gonna be kind of funny having a. Oh, what just happened? How did we get the Chorus? Did we just?
You've stolen for the last time, thief.
Ah! No! Resist arrest. Go to jail. I didn't mean to steal it. I didn't mean to. How far is the last little autosave? Autosave. Day 2? That was when we slept. Resist arrest or pay. I can't pay a fine?
I have you.
Oh gosh, we're gonna die. We're over encumbered too. Just take it back. I didn't mean to take it. And we're dead. Oh no. Where was the last? The autosave's gonna be that far back. Ah, it's that far back. No. Well, he's worse off than us, I guess. But I didn't mean to steal it. It was in the inventory. So I want to show you what happened. So basically, it was next to our menu, and we grabbed it like that. That was what happened. We literally accidentally stole. We literally accidentally stole. Which is still hilarious to me, the whole concept of accidental theft. I get it does happen. But that would be funny to accidentally steal an entire set of armor. Because I've worked retail before, so I know it can happen. It can happen. Someone can accidentally, typically it's a kid. Typically it's a very young kid grab something, and the parent didn't notice, and it's typically nothing super expensive. It's not like they're running off with something like super they're not running out with gold watches. The kid's not running out with gold watches. But it does happen. But that was I could have said go to jail, but not at this point. It would have damaged attributes. There would have been no point in playing the game at that point. It would have been playing the start of the game with damaged attributes. So we're gonna hold off. We're gonna save right here. We're gonna just end the stream here. And I might do multiplayer next. I might just switch over to my multiplayer one just so that you guys can see the multiplayer a little bit too. Or we might continue with this one. I'll have to decide, depending on what day we decide to go on, and what you guys think. I'll see if I can check what chat I've been missing, to see to gauge whether you guys rather see the multiplayer or see more of the single player of a scare, a scare, and see him advance. We're caught. So hopefully we can just have so many accidental thefts like that, or we could do multiplayer. And multiplayer is pretty fun, I will say. OpenMW's got its own kind of thing with going on. I would say both of them, just it's preference which one you want. You won't get the extra health from having the lady increased endurance, the lady birth sign. So because since it's in fortified endurance, you only get the benefit of the added fatigue. Added fatigue. At least that's everything I've read and everything I was looking at. And because it acts as fortify, which fortify doesn't technically mean your base attributes are increasing. So you can get to 125 endurance, for example, since it doesn't impact that. So that's a big difference. The big difference is how fortify works. Other than that, not too many differences. I don't know exactly, since this save was before I got the patch. A scare may be in some trouble. Because I can't tell what's stolen and what's not stolen. Which, an OpenMW doesn't tell you what's stolen or not stolen. But but one of the things I like most about the the patch was telling me if something was stealing or not. But either way, but we're not benefiting from this save. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I showed you a few things. Whether we go to multiplayer or not, I'll have to decide whether we're just going to switch over to multiplayer. You kind of saw how it starts, and multiplayer might be a lot of fun to see how you guys enjoy it. And also see an example of a character who skipped some of the min-maxing. By that I mean is we already have min-maxed, and I can show you a little bit of kind of min-maxing and what it looks like. Or do you want to go with the absolutely weird and wild build of a scare here, who doesn't know what's theft and not? He doesn't know what's theft and not. And there may or may not be a medium armor trainer without a patch. So you guys will see. He will have additional health, though. He will have the benefit of having additional health. Oh, actually, no, he won't, because he doesn't have the Lady Stone. But whatever. We will see. We'll see what happens. I do like the idea of an Altmer Neverine, though, because the Chimer broke off from the Altmer, but then they were changed by the Daedra to be different. But it would make sense for hear me out. It would make sense for an Altmer Neverine, because technically all the Dunmer got cursed, all the Chimer got cursed. So even though a lot of people have Dunmer Neverine, which would make perfect sense because every failed Neverine incarnate is Dunmer, right? It would make a lot of sense for an Altmer Neverine too, because technically it would make sense for it not to be from the same group that got cursed by the person who liked Neverar. But there's a whole lore thing in which it can be literally anyone because of how reincarnation works in Elder Scrolls. But I do like the idea of an Altmer Neverine because it kind of fits in with an Outlander, and that fits in with an Outlander. Even though they call Dunmer Outlander, if you're not from Morrowind, it's so far away. It's the exact opposite of Dunmer in terms of every way, because they're on different sides of the world. Totally, one like the Aedra, one like the Daedra. Totally different. I do like kind of their whole thing. And also in Morrowind, they just have so many negatives that it makes it really funny. So we'll see. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. You guys have a good one. See you later. All right, bye.